You could soon need protection from President Obama's Environmental Protection Agency raiding your paycheck. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us about another big power grab for the EPA.
As bureaucratic nightmares go, the Internal Revenue Service garnishing your wages to collect delinquent tax debt is among the most familiar because it's been happening for decades. Now, however, under a new proposed rule, the Environmental Protection Agency would also be able to garnish wages without a court order to collect unpaid fines and interest imposed on individuals found to have violated environmental laws.
I think that the Obama administration, it's a way to use the EPA to implement policy that they can't do through legislation. And they operate with significant revenue inside their own legal system, this administrative legal system, and they set the rules of the game.
As legal grounds, EPA cites the Debt Collection Improvement Act of 1996. The Obama administration claims that law empowers all federal agencies to garnish wages, provided they develop the same due process protections built into the IRS enforcement model. Some agencies, like the Department of Education and the Federal Trade Commission, have already adopted the practice. EPA told us administrative wage garnishment would apply only after EPA attempts to collect delinquent debts and after Treasury attempts to collect delinquent debts through other means. The agency also provides notice prior to any wage garnishment action, the spokesman said, including the opportunity for the debtor to review, contest, or enter into a repayment agreement. It also outlines procedures for a hearing at the debtor's request.
One of the tools of last resort is wage garnishment. And so what they're doing right now is just complying with that law.
Critics argue EPA has a track record of mismanagement and bullying, sometimes levying overwhelming fines for minor, even non-existent transgressions, and as such should not be invested with IRS-style powers. 3 GOP senators have written to EPA Chief Gina McCarthy demanding the rule be withdrawn.
I think the IRS should not. They do have that power, and they use it. I don't want that power extended to the EPA, specifically when we see the abuse by the EPA in this administration.
This rule goes on the books September 2nd, unless EPA says it receives adverse comment by August 1st, in which case it said it would withdraw the rule. We asked how many adverse comments were required, and EPA told us, quote, any. Officials there also confirmed they have received such comments today. So the fate of this rule, Doug, appears at this point very much up in the air.
Thank you, James.